This is a video to show documentation for Citizens Memorial Hospital, Expanse EHR. You can see the patient has arrived. Nurse has started a document for them. You can click on the chart and then open the document, or just go right to the document by clicking on Draft. Take you to the history of present illness, where the nurse has entered some comments about why the patient is there and things. You can see specific things about diabetes listed here that you can ask your nurse to ask every time. When we move down, we can see vital signs listed here, previous vital signs also listed, why the patient's coming in for diabetes, any allergies they have. Medications are listed here, and reconciliation date and time listed above. Questionnaires, patient, family, and social history, their medical history first in alpha sort. You can see any comments related to that, onset date over here, previous surgeries, the family history, social history, and now you can see if it's a female, you could have a female reproductive history. This is a male and test. Review systems are noted here. You can look at view previous ones and apply those if you'd like, or you can apply typical if you'd like here, either way. You can pick a HPI and apply this, general follow-up, apply that. You can even stack these. So I could do a view previous also, but I don't want everything. I just want the cardiological ones. So I can just click on cardiology and respiratory. Now we'll just apply those specific sections. But if I made a mistake and I want to clear all those out at once without going to each individual one, I can click here and say clear responses. It will now clear all those responses at once, and I can start over again. Exam functions exactly the same way. I can go through view previous and just apply certain sections of the previous exam. Say I want to apply, again, this one. I'm going to apply just cardiovascular this time because it's specific for this patient. But then I want to apply typical on top of that. So I can go to typicals and just go to general physical here or general follow-up and apply that. And every section that didn't have any entry, it would enter it. But say I heard a murmur that says no murmurs here, but I want to change that, edit that. So I click on this. That's going to remove the no murmur. Now I can actually document the murmur. I'm going to say as a systolic murmur, grade 2, is decrescendo, and I heard at the left sternal border. So now I'm all finished with that, and you can see that that has completely been edited very quickly. Goals and barriers are next, and you can see that this patient's goal for blood pressure is less than 130/80. Target is September. But let's say my target, I'm going to move it out a whole year. So I'm going to go out, I'm going to go to a few more months down the road and make it further in the future. Easy to do that. If I'm about to leave and the patient shows me a lesion they want me to look at and I want to document that, I go back to my documentation for exam and I'm going to go to skin. We have a functionality within Expanse to actually capture an image. You can see the aperture icon here. If I hover over it, it says Expanse Cam. If I click on that, it's going to go out to my phone if I've been registered for Expanse Cam and have me obtain an image. I can save that image right into the document by hitting save once it captures it, and it's in the chart easily that way. So now I've documented the skin lesion. I've also seeing them for follow-up of diabetes. So again, the same thing. I can view previous just like I could in the exam sections. I can view previous here and go to the previous time I'd seen the patient. But they didn't come in for a rash this time. I'm going to get rid of that because they're just in for their hypertension and diabetes. I'm going to apply that. But I want to make diabetes number 1 because that's really why they are coming in. So I'm going to move this from 2 to 1. And then I also want to add a skin lesion, so I can add a problem just either from the problem list that the patient has, or I can look up a problem if I need to, all from this section right here. So I'm going to say they've got a skin lesion since I don't know what it is. But I'm going to put it in the document only since it's an unknown entity at this point. Save that. And that will put it on the chart for me. I can also add patient instructions. Say they came in, did have a rash, they came in for dry skin. I can put my specific patient instructions here either by typing them out, I can put them in by dragging, or I can have a quick text. So let's do a quick text. Try and spacebar, and you can see that all that information will go to the patient. But say I want to give them a standard handout from the instructions we have in the chart about diabetes. I want to talk to them about diabetes and high blood pressure. So I'm going to enter that in. That's going to give them that handout when they check out, so they'll have that available to take home with them. My follow-up is in 3 months, but I actually want to add a lab at that time. So I'm going to say 3 months, let my front office staff, this needs to be a fasting lab in 3 months along with their visit. So I go up here to save, and now they can see that up front when they check out. Of course, I would tell the patient that, but they might forget by the time they get there. Now, lastly is you want to make sure that all your contributors are listed here, and it looks like Laura Avery, my nurse, had contributed, so I'm going to add her to that. Also, I want to send a copy to Dr. Walter Skirson. Right here, and save that. Now when I try to save that and sign it, it's going to tell me that my nurse has not finished contributing and that I can't finish the document because she's not signed or she's not saved it. So I'm going to go ahead and I could either tell her to go sign it or contribute it, finishing it, or I could just remove her and that would work. And then I can save it, easily sign the document now.